Good evening, Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with a very unique and very powerful live video update tonight. So some of you might be looking at me going, has Mike lost the plot? Is he standing there in a dress? No. For those of you who want to know, it's actually called a hakama. For those of you who know a little bit of my background and my success coaching background will know that I've drawn a lot of my experience from my martial arts that I've done over many years. And tonight's a very important night because tonight we work out where you draw your line and what that really means. You see, some of you out there watching this might know that I was actually supposed to be in hospital tonight. I was supposed to undergo an operation today to alleviate some significant pain that I've been in for quite some time now. And the hospital called me on Monday and said, listen, Mike, the government's just brought in regulations for any elective surgery. You have to have the COVID test now. So can you please pop in and just have that test done? And I was like, no. Oh, you can't just pop in before Thursday and get that test done? No. You sure you definitely can't? No. Oh, well, we'll have to cancel your surgery. So be it. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, well, Mike, you know, what's the big deal? It's just a test. Okay? And this is the problem with society at the moment. Everyone is falling for this. It's just. Okay? Yes, it's just a test. A scientifically meaningless, entirely useless test. Who cares whether I tested positive or negative for COVID-19 if I'm going to be lying on a hospital bed getting operated on? It's completely irrelevant. But this is what the media and the government does now. Oh, it's just a mask. It'll just be for a couple of weeks. And then, oh, it's just going to be for a couple of months. And then it's, oh, look, it's just having to give your name and address at the restaurant. Oh, look, it's just a couple of towers just in one suburb with just a few thousand people. It's just. Okay? Where do you draw the line? Right? Oh, it's just your wedding that you can't have with all the people now. It's just a birthday party that you're going to miss out on. It's just someone's funeral that you can't go to. It's just. And this is how they get you. Okay? Oh, look, it's just a fine. Just pay it. Oh, it's just personal tax. Everyone pays that. Oh, it's just one bad priest. Don't worry about it. Oh, look, it's just the way Hollywood is. You just have to accept it. It's just. But where do you draw the line? Because here's the thing. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Think about this in your personal lives. Okay? Oh, it's just one more piece of chocolate. Oh, it's just one more drink. Oh, it's just one joint. Oh, it's only just one affair. Where do you draw your line? Okay? Now, I don't care. All right? I'm not suggesting that you have to draw it in the same place as me. But what I am suggesting that you do is that you draw it and you draw it with absolute certainty. And that is why I'm got this outfit on. Okay? Because the samurai would take their swords in battle and they would literally draw a line in the sand behind them. And they would say, I will not retreat past that line. I will not go back beyond that line. They would stand and they would defend that line with their lives. This is how important it was to them. And this is how important it is right now. We are fighting for our lives. Our government is slowly but surely eradicating our rights and our personal freedoms bit by bit by bit with the whole excuse of it's just this, it's just that. Okay, many of you will have heard me give the example before, okay, of the pot of water and the frog. If you boil the pot up and it's boiling hot, you put the frog in, it's going to jump straight out and disappear. But if you've got a nice cold pot of water and you put the frog in and you gently turn the heat up and gently turn it up a little bit, the frog will stay in there until it ultimately boils itself to death and dies. This is what your government is doing to you right now. They give you just a bit, just a little bit more, okay, and then they take away more rights. They take away more freedoms. They erode and eradicate more of who you are. And you allow it to happen. So, my question for you this evening is, where do you stand? Where do you draw your line? Where will you no longer go beyond? What will you no longer accept? What will you no longer put up with under any circumstances? Because that's a real line. And once you've defined that line, stand strong and be ready to defend it no matter what. Because trust me, the governments, their enforcers, the police, potentially the military, the army will come and they will test you and they will challenge you and they will ask, are you certain about where you draw your line? Do you truly stand for something, or will you fall for anything? This is the question that I urge you all to ask yourself sincerely and answer. And once you've drawn that line, once you know where you stand strong, have faith, be courageous, and defend it. Know your rights. As it says, those who don't know their rights have none. Learn what your rights are, okay? Grab this book if you do not have it already. The essential step-by-step manual for understanding and exercising your rights. Know what your rights are. You can't defend them. You can't stand strong if you don't even know what they are. But conversely, once you understand what they are, once you know your rights, and once you get your head around the strategies that are covered in this 87-page book, you will know what to do to be able to stand strong and to be able to stand fast. Bombard your local MPs, bombard your state MPs, bombard your federal MPs with my will letters. They are so powerful. Express your will about wearing masks. Express your will about the ongoing lockdowns. Express your will about the mandatory testing. Express your will about the looming mandatory vaccinations. Okay, express your will strongly and firmly and stand by that at every opportunity. Do to them what they do to us. They bombard us with letters. They bombard us with demands. They bombard us with paperwork. Use the system back against those who created it. It's a very effective system for them. But here's the thing. There's a hell of a lot more of us than there are of them. So when we start understanding our rights, becoming aware of our rights, and standing up for our rights, we can take over them very quickly, very easily. But you've got to know what they are, you've got to get your head around them, and you've got to take action. Okay, right now here in Melbourne, Victoria, we are on the edge, on the precipice, quite possibly, of stage 4 restrictions, unprecedented restrictions in this country. Now, Daniel Andrews came out today and said, oh, look, you know, we're not saying anything yet, we're taking it cautiously, and we're looking at all opportunities, okay, trying to back away from that idea, which means it's probably going to come in sooner rather than later. So watch this space, I guess we'll find out. New South Wales is already talking about possible restrictions, okay, and once it starts happening there, it will flow to the rest of the country. So before those restrictions are heightened, before more of your freedoms are eroded, work out where you draw your line, stand firm, stand strong, defend that position. Please get your head around your rights and take action. So I'm going to leave you with this thought as always as we're heading to yet another weekend. Okay, get informed, get fired up, and get proactive. Thanks and have a great weekend.